Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Power of Us podcast. It's always a pleasure to be landing here in this space and to be seeing such beautiful faces in front of I have Emily Doe, and our guest today is Isabel Katarina. Welcome, welcome, Isabel. And as I was explaining, we always have a moment where we connect and give thanks to the voice. And
Mm.
today we are going to, I'm going to share something that you were talking about in your latest YouTube, around the concept and the message that it is time to take the power back in your voice, in our voices, in our own voices. And I love what you say. You said the fool is awake, and it's now time to get a new costume in our closet. So yeah, I'm up for listening to more about that. But I have a very dear friend, and her name is Deborah Kilby, and she really helped me a lot to heal through some of trauma that I went through 5 years ago. And it so happens that Mary Magdalene came through her this month and delivered a message. And Deborah, thank you. I'm just going to paraphrase some of the message here. So it's time to connect with your voice, not just your words, but the full expression of your soul. So your voice carries your tone, your energy, and your intention. And like the birds greeting the morning, your sound is both a celebration and a calling, a way of drawing in the life you wish to live. Think of Snow White singing with the birds. This is a ritual of resonance, a dialogue with the day, a declaration of openness to joy, flow, and abundance. And yeah, I love how she's talking about the birds. You know, we can learn from the birds. You know, they just sing. You know, they sing their expression, their tune, and they don't think about what it's going to sound like. And yeah, so practice your voice, sing your scales of joy, and notice which tones uplift you, which carry you deeper, and the intentions that move through them. So that was Deborah Kilby's words. And we'll put Deborah Kilby into the notes for everybody to appreciate her work as well. From Mary Magdalene, which is so beautiful, such feminine energy coming through as people recognize the voice is so, so important. Yeah, using it as our sacred sound and a sonic vitamin, a new two words that I learnt from a book that I'm reading. Welcoming that into our life and what's waiting for us when we do. And you're going to express this to us, Isabel. So I'm asking everyone this same question. So from fear and empowerment, how you have used your voice and pushed through barriers. And like for me, it feels like kind of pushing through like a second skin, you know, it feels uncomfortable. And I might be shivering and quivering, but I know I've got to do it anyway. So I would like you to express a moment where you used your voice in fear and it led to empowerment.
Mm. That's beautiful. Hi, and thank you for having me. Nice to meet you guys. Um, yeah, and it's funny because while we started the podcast now, I was suddenly like feeling this nervousness in my throat and this kind of, oh, like, oh, now I'm put on the spot here. I have to say the right thing, or was this feeling of and it just tied me back to what you were asking, because that's really the same fear that sometimes comes up before I'm gonna do a video or before I'm getting in front of people or doing anything, singing a song. That fear can still be there. That fear can still come up of this, whoa, like, am I safe to express here? Like, do I feel safe to express myself here? And I think that's actually been a big part of the journey itself, that I didn't feel safe to express myself. Like I was very, very closed in my throat, in my expression, in my younger years, and feeling that there was so much more wanting to be expressed, but yeah, holding a lot of stories, a lot of fear. and and then when I was reading your question about it, it's just this, there is not just one answer to that. It's not one moment that's that, oh, suddenly the fear disappeared and now I'm here and just talking. It was the opposite. It was just feeling that my soul calling for sharing my voice became and was so much stronger than the fear itself. And that I realized that I am here to share my voice. And my work is just to release and let go of what has been hindering me to do so. And actually starting to share my vulnerability, which was another question might coming up, but to share from a vulnerable space of actually just sharing right now that I felt insecure there for a moment. And how that actually has been helped to transmute fear in itself. Does that make sense? Is that answering a little bit of the question?
It's answering so much more. And what I've really picked up on there is feeling safe. That is such a big piece, a missing piece, a piece that a lot of people don't get to, to actually move past the fear. So that identification is really amazing, like feeling safe. But even though you don't feel safe, you still have to, find ways to allow yourself to speak.
Yeah, and I think it's the transmutation also of what does safe mean and what is the old experiences that I had that didn't make me feel safe, and how am I letting it now continue to play out and making me play small because I'm afraid it's going to be a same situation when it's just perspectives, right? It's like, oh, when I started my YouTube channel, I was carrying my video camera in my bag for 5 years. I didn't pick it up. Like, I knew I was gonna start the channel. Like, I knew it, the whole concept, everything was clear, but I was still afraid, even if I've done many things to break this in different periods of my life. But then every time there is a new kind of opening or a new step, then there is the same fear again. And I was so afraid of being in front of the camera that I just carried the camera for 5 years in my bag until I just came to the point where, like, oh, it's time now. It's time to press play now. Like, nothing is gonna happen if I don't press play. And release this feeling of, oh, it's not gonna be perfect, and that's perfect. Like, I'm just gonna not edit anything, just press play, be me, and see where it leads. And wow, what a journey. And it's the same story about opening up my voice to singing, because I would never sing in my life before as well. But maybe I'm gonna close that a little bit now if you want to ask some more questions, but I would love to share whatever wants to come through.
Yeah, I mean, thank you so much. I think it's going to resonate with so many people. Like, press the play button. I love that, and the fact, yeah, thank you for admitting, that you took it with you for five years. Just out of interest, how long ago was that? How long have you? When did you press play? What year?
I just started the YouTube channel is new from last year. It's not not even a year since I started last summer. Yeah. But yeah, it's been a big, I don't know, I haven't shared a lot about my story, but it's the last 5 years has been just, I was living in Norway before and had a completely different sort of lifestyle and life. And then I felt like I needed to let everything go. So I sold all my things and I quit my business in 2019, just before COVID. And at that point, I was not singing and using my voice in that way at all. And I just booked a one-way ticket and sold all my things and released everything. And it's been a very big transformation, and I'm still catching up with myself. And it's been a funny journey about, yeah, I mean, how being attached to different titles or things that we think that we are or have invested ourselves into, and how freeing it was for me at that time anyway to let all of the stories go with that life I was living at that point. And how much it freed up for me to become more than what I thought I could be.
Love it.
Can I just
Go on, yeah, it was a definite quantum piece, that
interject?
was. Yes, yeah, Emily.
Yeah, and it's evident, Isabel, from the success of your YouTube channel. Like, how important it is. The universe really wants you to use your voice, you know, and I don't think that I have ever come across somebody's YouTube channel and so instinctively known that I want to be uh, learning from you in your community, working with you. Yeah, I just bought there and then. I was just like, yes, this is amazing. And I loved the authenticity of your reading and the way that you just burst into song. You know, you're just so free in your expression, and it's very attractive to me as a soul-led entrepreneur, somebody who sings, somebody who's on a spiritual journey, you know, like, and really kind of wanting to connect, to really
Mm.
connect with people. And it's so important. I really felt like I felt to you.
Mm, that's so beautiful. I love that. Yeah, so you've just told us one of your pivotal moments in 2019. You know, taking that quantum leap, or you were maybe even lifted up by the universal energy and told that you needed to go somewhere else in the world. I mean, I've been to Costa Rica. It is a stunning. I mean, I don't know whether that's the first place you landed, but energetically, it's yeah, it's really, really beautiful place to be in the world.
Wasn't the first place I landed, but that's where I got stuck when everything closed down, because I I seemed to wanted to go in the perfect timing before everything changed. And that
Yes.
was the first time I opened my voice to singing and bought my first guitar. I was gonna go, I thought, from Guatemala to Peru, and then on the way down I got stuck in Panama. And I knew I had to come back to Costa Rica. And
Yeah.
I just bought the first guitar and went to the jungle and stayed at this very mystical, beautiful place in the jungle for 5, 6 months. And I
Mm.
started to sing and play the guitar and write songs. And I had never done that before. And there was just something in me that was like, why not? Like, when do you become a musician? Who says that you can't sing? Who told you you cannot sing? And just felt that the spirit kept telling me, just sing, like sing a song. I'm like, I can't sing. Like, yes, you can, like just sing. And how, yeah, I think I feel like it's coming back to what we started to talk about, the fear of like the unknown and the fear of the, yeah, wanting to express, but then not knowing how it will be perceived, but then feeling that, oh, there is a calling in my heart. There is a calling, like my soul is calling me to become more. That expansion is so natural, and to allow us to not be perfect, but to try and to play and to release the old stories of like, oh, who told me that I can't sing? Who told me that I can't go there? Who told me that I can't do this or this? Maybe it was me. But it's like the perception shift and the perspective shift of, yeah, like there is no limits really. We can choose a new title, and we can choose a new life, we can choose a new direction if we want to. And even if we're afraid of it, or even if it feels like a blockage, it's still a choice away in one form or another. Yeah.
I love that. So let's get a little bit into like the visceral, the feeling of what that felt like to actually, allow yourself to sing physically,
Wow,
like inside.
I love that question, because I feel like it's been one of the biggest joys of my life. And it was yeah, I guess I was 30. Yeah, I just turned 30 or something at that trip when I opened. I'm like, whoa, how did I not start this before? Why did I not start to sing before? And it's just so empowering. And I haven't been able to put down the guitar since. And it has traveled with me everywhere.
Oh,
And
That's really inspiring as well, because I'm definitely somebody who would love to learn more instruments, but just feels to myself like maybe I'm a little bit long in the tooth, you know, like, can I
yeah,
really allow myself to do that? Because am I dedicated enough? You know, all of that, and just coming at it from a more playful perspective, I think is really important.
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And also, it's like it's not about performance as well, the way that I've that music and song came in has been also through my spiritual path, and through the shamanic path, and through like ceremonial spaces and medicine music, and like using music also from the like my yogic path before with the mantras, but it's also like, oh, it's used for medicine, like it's frequency, it is something we're using to create harmony within us and to bring higher energy, joy, and all of the things that medicine music brings. And medicine music can really be, I mean, that is creating harmony. Who said, don't have to put it in a label, but it is it's not to perform, it is to expand us. And that also helped so much. But that was, I think, the calling inside of me to open my voice has been about that as well, of holding space for healing in different ways. And when I started to sing and realize like, wow, I can sing, even if my voice shakes sometimes, still my voice is there and it is unique and it is me.
You're really my type of girl.
And that is just the freedom of, yeah, I look back now, and now I'm helping people to open their voice through singing, and now people are paying me to sing at their ceremonies and hold space in different ceremonial spaces with my voice, with my music. And I look back and I almost laugh, and I'm like, whoa, 5 years ago I was not this person. Like, I had never done any of this. Who am I now with all these instruments, traveling around, doing all these retreats, holding all this space? And it's just been this huge transformation of catching up with myself as well. And I feel like that's one of the things with allowing us to, like, oh, there's so much more. There's so much more within all of us, and we can all feel it. Yes. I did a video the other week with about like the chosen one, and I think it is about you choosing yourself, like choosing to rise. It is not someone else choosing you, like, oh, now you're special, I give you permission to feel special. It is like, no, I'm realizing how special I am in my uniqueness, and I'm here to share that, right? And that I'm choosing myself, I'm choosing to rise. I'm choosing to speak even if my voice shakes.
Yes, oh, it's absolutely beautiful. And you've just given us the most gorgeous, exquisite example of what it is to stand in vocal vulnerability. And I thank you for that. And everything you've announced to us is what the power of us is about. You know, bringing people onto the stage, bringing their presence onto the stage, and unfiltered, unedited, you know, unrehearsed, giving them an opportunity to be uniquely in their own resonance and create radical changes through solely being in that moment, in the voice, in the harmony, in the resonance. And so to speak to somebody that really understands that that just is so joyous, you know, to my heart. And I hope one day that you will come and play with us on stage, not just stand with us, play with us, and create with us. So I've always sung, Isabel, since I was 11. But I went through a really, really interesting journey because it was, you know, very much along getting things right, being perfect, doing exams, and a lot of pressure. And there was so much pressure. And of course, where does all that pressure go? It explodes, and I got to a burnout and didn't like my voice anymore. But I actually also, no surprise, 2020, 2022, these are big moments for a lot of light leaders, and the voice being woken up in a lot of us. And that's when Cosmic Songbird came. And she came to me, and I just started channeling. The Pure Cure also came to me. It's like I needed to, in 2023, I needed to give up any toxic relationships, anything that I was putting in my body. I haven't drunk any alcohol now for 2 years, because my work was, you need to be the clearest channel that you can be to help people to bring their own work through in a crystallined way. To broadcast their message, the truth of their message, you know. And I love how you're saying about performance, This is definitely a universal message that's coming out right now. One of my soul daughters, Alice Maisetti's, just put something up very similar. You know, as women, we're taught to perform, but this is what we're stepping out of in the stages, is to be authentic, is to, you know, is not to perform, is just to be, you know. And the word symphonies came, sensational symphonies came. So I'm starting to create these sensational symphonies. I just like to open this as an invitation, just as a little play. And I don't know how it would come through Zoom, for us to create a little bit together right now. What does that feel like? I know that isn't in, that wasn't on the cards.
Love it.
It can be a no, of course, because it has to be a sacred yes or no. But I think what we're doing by becoming and joining together in this conversation today is giving permission for those who aren't quite ready to take that quantum leap, or who are. Yeah, I'd love to experience a little bit of the sound together.
Wow, yeah, for sure. I would love it. How do you want to do that?
Like, let's just start, you know. And Emily and I have been in the studio recently, and we just kind of did something similar. So,
Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya. 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 Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya.
Thank you so much. I give the voice, I give the resonance. You know, I feel you in such a new and different way now.
That's so beautiful. Thank you for inviting that.
Yeah. Yeah, that was just gorgeous. Thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure sitting here with you, Isabel, and of course my beautiful Emily Doe, who's come into my life like a flash of amazingness. And we've just gone through. We didn't even need to ask the question, because that was all about trust and collaboration. We've just demonstrated what it is as creators, to just allow ourselves to express. And I say expression has no boundaries. But perhaps you can share to the listeners like a partnership, or a co-creation that has elevated your mission, that has really stood out for you, made you feel humble and expanded even more.
Mm. There's been a few earth angels, that's for sure. And they really felt like earth angels, because it has been the times where I have not believed in myself, when someone has come and seen who I am before I have been able to see it, and how much that has really helped me, because I feel like that's been the only thing that that was holding myself back, was that I wasn't able to see myself. And and that has been my own journey of opening up to see myself, but also having people seeing and giving not that's not the word. um, hmm. the more we allow ourselves to shine, the more we will just allow and give permission to other people to shine just with our presence, right? And the more we are able to see ourselves, the more we are also able to see other people, and how that is the chain reaction of, I think, the power of we as well, to be sharing how seeing people who have given themselves permission is helping other people to wake up and do the same thing. So I would say that there has been earth angels in my life that has come in the right timing to remind me of how powerful I am. And something else that came through during the talk now was like, through the darkness light is born. Like through the darkness light is born as well, that so many who are going on this journey of feeling the call of opening, it is for a reason. Like there's other souls that are calling them to open so that they can, so that the chain can continue of going upward the spiral, right? But it's like, so it is an initiation for all of us wanting to open ourselves to go through that darkness within us, whatever that might be, the shadow of not feeling good enough, or whatever it might be that we hold and carry. And that we are here to activate each other and light the candle in each other and sing for each other. Yeah. So thank you for wanting to be that for other people, because it really matters.
Yes.
You never know how
I
shows
spent
up.
some time with Natalie in Spain recently as well, and had the opportunity for the very first time in my life to go into a recording studio and to just use my voice and sing. And I had put some intentions and said some prayers and spoken out loud to my angels, to my higher self, to the universe, you know, kind of wanting very much to use my voice in that way. But it wasn't until I was in that studio, in that moment, that I actually even allowed myself to realize what was happening, you know. And Natalie, for me, is definitely one of those earth angels, you know, like to just hold that space for me and be like, you know, you're an emerging artist. And it's like, I've been saying that, but I don't think I'd really felt it in my body, you know, like it's just, it's extraordinary, actually, the experience that I've had over the last week. And I am now standing so much more in my voice, in my expression, in my confidence, you know, which I felt I had, but there's just this fullness to it now, which is that like no more holding back.
Mhm.
And yes, we need each other to light the way. Light the way is the name of your book, Natalie.
Yeah, we need each other. Like you know, the song needs harmony. We need each other. And yeah, and what we're speaking about is a new language of song. It's not about perfection, like you said. It's not about getting it right. It's actually about allowing us to be sung, and to let the expression come through us. This has been the most delicious conversation. Emily, thank you for sharing that wisdom at the end as well, because I think it's so important for people that are tuning in here, to hear these real life experiences and stories, and seeing. I love the word, you know, the transformation, but the transmutation. How everything transmutes through actually going through the process and allowing ourselves. So Isabel, how can our audience find you and find out more about your incredible work?
Yeah, it would be so nice to connect with you. And yeah, you can find me. My website is isabelkatarina.com, but also connect on Instagram or YouTube is Isabel Katarina Rosenguld in Swedish, and Rosengold. So that's my name, and you can find me there. And it would be amazing to connect and share more and talk more. Thank you so much for having me. Beautiful to connect with you guys, and I love your work, and thanks for sharing your voices, bringing people together. It's beautiful.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing your voice and coming in together with myself. So I'm Natalie, and we'll put everything into the show notes, of course. But you can find me at Cosmic Songbird _ on Instagram, and my website is my own name, nataliefarrell.co, and my beautiful co-founder, co-host Emily Doe. How can they find you?
Best place is on Instagram, emilydoe.dandelion_stories. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And this is the penultimate in our series. So we will be closing next week with the incredible Bruce Cryer. So we look forward to sharing that as well, and another singer's story. And the singers they're coming out of hiding. That's what I feel. Yeah. Yeah, it's just absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much, Isabel. Thank you for everybody tuning in, and we will see you very, very soon. Bye bye. Remember to hit subscribe so that you can hear when the new videos come out and interviews. Lots of love. Truth tones. Bye bye.